Let's move it to the Gunners, my friend.
Yeah.
Arsenal tilt to West Ham 0, a West Ham team that have dogged Arsenal over the last couple of seasons. I think 2023, 2024, when they were going for titles, West Ham beat them in games that became quite pivotal against Arsenal. Remember the one when he's tried to flick it over Declan Rice, wasn't it? In midfield, and they got done. They got done at home a couple of times. But, I mean, none of that at the Emirates this weekend. Arsenal, I think you were doing this game, and it was one of those where we weren't sure. I watched the first half, and then I watched the second half of Manchester United, just so we were across a couple of games. I mean, my takeaway, Rob, watching the game was, wow, the football that they played and the control which they had, and this is including their captain going off in a time when if Odegaard goes off, we start thinking, they're going to lose something. They didn't miss a beat. Zubamendi comes on, Rice drops into a slightly more advanced role and dominates the game, scores the goal. I thought that was pretty good, and to the point, Rob, where I'm saying right now, and I'm saying at the top of the show, the best footballing team in the league by a distance is Arsenal at the moment.
Yeah, it is, Rob.
Distance.
Yeah, I mean, I like the lineup. You know, a lot of people have been saying, like, come on, Mikel, let's throw some of those attacking players out there. It was West Ham United at home. I think he knew how Nuno was going to approach the game. It was going to be defensive, so he did get his attacking players out there. But with Odegaard and Eze and Rice in midfield, that's kind of nice, right? And then Odegaard sadly has to go off. Apparently, I think the reports are an MCL knee injury, which is not the worst
not the
one.
ACL, it's not the worst,
but it's still not good. So he had to go off. Rice goes a little higher. Zubamendi comes on. I just like that midfield kind of setup in midfield, and just they look like a team they're on a mission. They're a team that looks like, and I say this a lot, like it looks like they realise something special's happening, and I think it's there for them. The intensity, the football, the quickness of the football, the attacking, the skilled nature of them. They gave nothing to West Ham. I don't think West Ham United had a shot on target the whole game. So a combination of bright play, enthusiastic support, strong, powerful. Tactically, the system is pretty grooved now. Yes, there's been new players. Saka's back playing on the right. Trossard was lively. Eze will improve. I think the type of player that Roberto Eze is, there's going to be games where he looks incredible. There's going to be some quiet ones. I think that's the way he is. But I liked it, Rob. And I, like you before, I'm going to go pretty early here because it's important with our chat to my underappreciated performer. And I don't think anybody's going to get this, and I don't think you would have thought this, but I'll tell you what it was, because I watched him real close. Riccardo Calafiori is my underappreciated performer, and I'll tell you exactly why. Not only is he a physical beast of a defender to get past, he's a threat from set pieces, he drifts forward at left back and has scored goals and will continue to be a threat going forward. But most of all, his ability to roll inside into the midfield, the centre of midfield, this big guy who's a centre-back / left-back, and be very neat and tidy on the ball, Rob. You don't see him giving the ball away much. Miles Lewis-Skelly has done it, and we loved him doing it. Calafiori can do it equally as well, Rob, and he's got the physicality and the threat from set pieces and the strength defensively that Lewis-Skelly hasn't got. So I just think, I don't know whether Arsenal, I'm sure they do, I'm sure the manager does, realise what a kind of a player he is, Rob, that can do a bit of everything. And you might scratch your head earlier to say, why is Calafiori playing? He's good. But Miles Lewis-Skelly looks so good. I'm telling you, you're seeing it week in, week out. He can do it all. And when I saw him twinkle toes in midfield, keeping possession, plays alongside Declan Rice, allows you the two to get forward, Eze and Odegaard. There's that back, the square box in midfield that he can bring. I mean,
the thing with him, Rob, to your point, the thing with him, he turns up. I saw him one time. He was like right side, not right wing, but inside right. And playing give and goes. He's a proper footballer.
He's a proper footballer. Surprised me a little bit.
I absolutely agree with the shout. I think it's a great shout. I mean, the other thing is he looks like an Adonis. I mean, he struts around the place like he, you know, and he's got that
He's
about
got the bill,
him.
he's got the hair flowing from
He can play as. I mean, he'd push David Ginola on the hair front. He could play as a third centre back if need be, Rob. When they have to go that way, he falls in, which he does for the Italian team. I think it's a brilliant shout. I think he's taking the level, you know, Miles Lewis-Skelly's now's got to raise his level another level to play, but I think you get a different type of defender, and I think that's important for Arsenal to have. You know, we're talking Zinchenko and Tierney were the two before them. It's a very different level and competition we're talking now.
Very different.
You know, Mikel Arteta's talked about how Calafiori upsets opposition when he rolls in, when he goes a bit higher, when sometimes he goes as a left winger and Trossard comes in. I mean, all those elements to his game. And it's really funny, Rob, that you pick him because he was on my thought. And you know who else was on my thought? He was very close to being my under pressure. Timber was the other one. Jurrien Timber, my friend.
How good is he? How good is he?
In an era where I've talked about fullbacks become so important, not only with your possession, but the defending, the rolling in, the roles that they have now.
Strong, isn't he?
Oh, mate, he's got to get a new... They talk about a new extended contract. Yeah. I can absolutely see why. I mean, we used to think Ben White was a player back there and could play. I mean, Jurrien Timber's like next level again, which is where, you know, the depth is. So, no, it's a great shout, the Arsenal fullbacks, and certainly Calafiori. I am absolutely 100% behind that one. It's a great call. It's a great call, my friend. I'm also going to give you a call of two people who are appreciated, but I just want to single them out. Bukayo Saka, mate, has played 200 Premier League games. 200. I think I played 250, 260 in my career.
I played just over 200 Premier League games in my career.
Yeah, he's played 200. I mean, he's going to be 600-700 if he stays fit and goes the course. Yeah. He's had 100 Premier League goal involvements, either scoring or assisting, mate.
Yeah, that's good.
I mean, it's incredible numbers for somebody who's a powerful, wide guy who, you know, plays on the right-hand side, you know, Salah-esque with what he does. You know, he's one of their own. He's brought them through. He hasn't cost them a penny. I just feel like he's not underappreciated, but wow. I mean, superb.
Tip of the cap.
The other fella, the other guy, and I mean, he has been underappreciated, and we've talked him up, and so Declan Rice, my friend.
Yeah.
And what I want to say about him, and it's not necessarily his play, although that's part of who he is in the goal and that. It was the situation at the weekend that I was a bit peed off with the West Ham fans who were booing him, and I know that happens when he was getting a lot of stick, and I know that happens when, you know, an ex-player moves. But this is a guy who didn't leave on a free for no money. He played his heart out. I think he wins a European trophy. He leaves for £100 million, $123 million. He goes to another football club. When he scores the goal, he doesn't celebrate. He's got respect for the club and the set of fans and whatever. And yet people still were booing him. I just didn't... that didn't sit right with me. I get when some players get booed, and I get when some players leave in certain circumstances, and it's not great. This guy did every single thing he could till the day he left for West Ham Football Club. Yeah, he did. And I just thought that was bad treatment. And by the way, he's playing as well as any midfield player in the Premier League right now.
I like those two shouts, Rob. I'm going to finish the conversation with Arsenal with me just really quickly running through the subs bench. Kepa, very experienced, Chelsea goalkeeper a few years ago. Mosquera has been very good as a centre back to come and help out. Ben White talked about how good he is as a right back. Martinelli. By the way, these are all on the bench. Has come on before, scored goals, really important player. Yeah. Christian Norgard, last season's captain at Brentford, one of the best players at that football club. Ethan Wanieri, through the academy, getting better, can come on and give you silk and give you creativity in the middle of the park. Also could come on from the middle of the park is Mikel Merino, could score goals. Different sort of player, more physical, certainly gets in the box. How about Martin Zubamendi to come into the game, can knit things together from a deeper role. And finally, Miles Lewis-Skelly that can come on and be an excellent... I mean, that is some amount of backup on the bench to help the first team whenever they might need it. So I hope we haven't gone over the top there on Arsenal, Rob. And, you know, it's a long way to go. And the hardest thing in sports is to close, is to finish, is to get over the line. And obviously they want to do it. I just thought Rebecca asked us on the last segment of the show today, Rob, what's, going into the international break of the first 7 games in the Premier League season, what's on your mind? On my mind, I mean, there's so many clubs on my mind, obviously, but I think Arsenal's progression, the adding to the attack in the summer, and they went from the goalkeeper to defenders to midfield players. Now the front line's been updated.
Yeah.
It looks pretty strong.
In finishing and agreed totally with the Arsenal thing, Rob, I go back to just over 7 days ago when Arsenal were 1-0 down at Newcastle with 4 minutes of time, and Liverpool were drawn back with Palace and were looking to go on to win.
Yeah.
There would have been an 8-point gap between those two teams. There was 5 at the time. There would have been an 8-point gap. And let me tell you, mate, it would have started. It would have started.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that don't want him to do well. There's a lot of haters out there.
All of a sudden, that result last weekend, the result this weekend, Arsenal are sitting top of the pile, and it's a very different look. And all of a sudden, the spotlight falls a bit on Liverpool. Yeah. And that's what's great about this Premier League, mate, and why we love it so much.
Brilliant.
Hi there, I'm Rebecca Lowe, studio host of NBC's coverage of the Premier League. Don't forget to hit subscribe to watch more videos all season long. And for even more Premier League content, from original series to live matches, head over to Peacock.